Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. This is the emergency broadcast. It's an emergency. We've even changed the bulb. I'm here, as always, with Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
So...
No, it's so emergency we even bought some actual equipment. Broadcasting
Gaz has bought the equipment and we are yet to pay him for it, but that will come round.
It's that important. So before we get into the meat of it, I would like to just briefly read a statement to you gentlemen and to anybody who may be listening at home. I would just like to say that in this age of misinformation, fake news, alternative fact and most importantly, rampant litigation, I would like to prefix this recording and any future recordings by saying to anybody listening that technically speaking, I'm a fucking moron. I don't know anything for sure. I essentially live in a cave of which the walls are constructed by pop culture. I am so unaware of current affairs beyond the headlines and clickbait that nothing I say can be trusted or taken seriously. My education has holes in it so big they are sucking in gravity. My knowledge of history is on similar shaky ground. I use professional wrestling events and movie releases to measure the passing of time. And to top it all off, I recently watched a YouTube video about simulation theory, and now I can't say with any real authority whether or not my eyelids are real. I'm uneducated, ill-informed, and underprepared. Anything and everything I say is to be taken with a pinch of salt so large it could kill a 30-foot-long genetically modified slug giant. Apart from when I'm right about something, of course. Which I probably won't be. This is simply a regular man's attempt to cut through the bullshit with a teaspoon. Essentially, I'm saying that I'm too stupid to sue. So here we go. Let's get educated and start this thing off with one big collective cry of allegedly.
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 Mike, don't get sued. Okay.
I think we all agree with that statement.
Yeah.
So if you are listening, keep your shitty comments to yourself because I'm perfectly aware of my lack of everything that a man needs to be a success. But I don't need you to point it out. Planet X, Ben.
It's also worth pointing out, before I jump onto Planet X, right, that none of us are rich enough for you to get anything from.
Exactly.
We're all poor.
I mean,
it's a waste of time suing us.
I got a couple of comic books that might be worth over £4 each.
I've got a VHS of the Masters of the Universe.
Oh, hello. I mean, you might.
I think you just found a buyer for that.
You might get. I'll give you £6 for that, Mike.
It's worth at least £7.
I thought you were drinking wine from the bottle then. Out of the corner of my eye.
Poor, but he's not that poor. He's not supposed to drink dodgy wine from the bottle here. Homebrew wine.
Made from my own urine.
I felt like a bottle of wine this morning listening to some of the YouTube videos I watched. I ended up watching a lot of survivalist videos this morning about how to, I'm jumping ahead, but...
Survivalist videos on how to survive Planet X?
Yes, basically, and some that were quite vague, but also quite, just, the tone of them was all just very, they were like corporate, sponsored. It just reminded me of something like from a RoboCop movie or something where, you get these...
Oh, buy your nuclear shelter from Omnicore!
Yeah, your new nuclear bunker, it was just kind of like, yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, we need to learn some stuff.
I need to hit you with some knowledge about Planet X.
And can we please address at the start? We've mentioned this off mic to each other before, but the name Planet X.
Yeah. Technically, Planet 9 nowadays.
Okay, that sounds better, but Planet X. Why of all the letters? It's just so 1950s sci-fi and
it's the Roman
creepy.
Numeral for 10.
Oh. Well, nobody told me that. That's why they gave it a really and I was thinking Planet A would be better. Planet A, Planet A, not Planet X. It just sounds okay, but it's scientific and logical and not stupid.
Well, no, it's not scientific and logical in any
Roman
stretch of the
numerals
imagination. No, but it's a dead language. The only thing we use Roman numerals for nowadays are Rocky films, Star Wars, and planets. Apparently,
yeah. Are they still at the end of the credits in TV shows? Like really?
They
long
are.
ones
Oh
that
yeah,
make no sense?
yeah.
But,
Clocks.
But speak Planet 10 though. But because
We
Pluto's-
can carry on naming things with Roman numerals. It's the game.
Apart from Roman numerals, what have the Romans ever done for us?
Them and their damn straight road.
I don't know much about Romans, but so Planet 10, but it's Planet 9 now. Because,
Technically, yeah.
because Pluto's not a planet. But did you know that in itself is a conspiracy, so that you can't Google it and you can't educate yourself on it because NASA is suppressing you, Ben.
Well, I have been called a dirty Nasher shill in my time.
You've been
Mainly by us.
Ben, you're racking him up, man. Banned from Britain first. You've just been thrown off fucking iTunes. What was the other one? NASA. You've been called a NASA shill.
I was thrown out of the Flat Earth Society.
Who the fuck gets thrown out of a society full of fucking degenerates and fucking
Well,
Ben.
atheists and Flat Earth deniers.
I
apparently.
guess sensible people. Well, sorry.
So this all goes back. This whole Planet X, Niburu is also its other name. That's the alien name for it. Comes back to 1995. A woman called Nancy Leader.
1995.
1995.
Oh,
She's got a brain implant allowing her to talk to aliens, by the way.
That's handy.
oh, Ben. There were some actual scientists who worked this out in like 18 something, but they didn't add all the alien bit to it yet.
Oh, well, this is the alien bit.
Ah,
Right,
right.
see, I looked at the alien bit.
Oh, okay. Well, see, you do aliens first because I've got the NASA side of it afterwards,
Ooh.
which is it was getting me a bit down. I'll explain later. So let's go with this lady, the implant lady. She has an implant. You
She
say.
has an implant in her brain.
She has instantly just got so much more credible.
And who is communicating with her?
The aliens who live on Niburu, who are known as the Annunaki, I'm sure you've all heard of them. They're pretty famous in alien scenes. They're like the Guns N' Roses of the aliens. They
Pretty
come back
rock and
now and
roll.
again. Everyone gets excited. Then they don't really do much.
It really is
Apart
like
from
Guns N'
enslaving
Roses.
Well, they kind of did a little bit. We'll get to them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have nothing against our new Anunnaki overlords.
If you're listening, iTunes.
I welcome them.
Allegedly, okay.
Anyway, she originally said that she's got it in her head that these aliens have told her that it's just going to swing by us on Niburu, Planet X,
Okay.
Planet 9. We'll just call it Niburu. It's going to swing by us. It is transmitting... Oh, man. It's transmitting plasmatic energy particles, which is going to... Flow of energy will trigger catastrophic climate change.
I'm feeling a bit plasmatic listening to it.
She did say that this would happen in 2003 originally, and then surprisingly 2012. Because let's face it, if anything was going to happen, it was going to be in 2012.
Everybody jumped on that bandwagon.
Oh, even that film was shit too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I even saw it.
Oh mate, you
I
didn't.
don't really do disaster movies.
Yeah, I don't mind a good disaster movie, but that wasn't a good disaster movie.
It's like Poseidon.
Oh, it's no Poseidon Adventure. That's
What is, Mike?
the Poseidon Adventure 2 didn't cut it, sadly.
It even had Michael Caine. It never did it.
It's Poseidon Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. Oh, right.
The size of a tangerine.
What was the second one? Was it a ship again?
Yeah, Michael Caine was like leading a gang of thieves,
Right.
and the boat capsized
Again.
again.
They really should stop calling ships Poseidon.
If I was him, I would have never got anywhere near a fucking boat ever again, or water. I haven't seen Poseidon, so I'm just guessing.
You never seen the Poseidon Adventure?
No.
Yeah, it's alright.
Did he drown in a boat? Well, did people drown on a boat?
Yeah.
And then in number 2, he went back on a boat.
No, he wasn't in the first one.
Oh, okay.
I forget who was in the first one. Robert Redford?
He does a lot of that, Michael Caine.
What, crap films?
No, like, well, more specifically crap sequels.
Allegedly crap
Allegedly
films,
crap
Michael.
sequels.
Sir Michael.
Exactly, Sir Michael. I'm maintaining my weapon, Sir Michael.
Anyway, this crazy... I'm going to call her crazy. I'm going to say that, she thinks she's talking to aliens. To me, that makes her crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She put her dogs down in 2003
Oh,
because
man.
of this impending disaster. She took her
Oh,
dogs.
I was going to say, a lot of
her
people
healthy
put their
dogs
dogs
to the
down.
vets.
I tell you what, I
because
was on
of
her
the-
side. I was with her all the way until she put down the pets.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's like
Jesus.
because dogs would be handy to have in a post-apocalyptic scenario because they'd let you know when raiders were coming.
Yeah, but they're also a burden and they need more food.
Yeah, but you can
I
eat
need
them
my
if
dog.
things got too bad.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry if my dog's listening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, so am I.
I know. Things would have to get pretty bad. What's that Will Smith film where he has to kill the dog? It's heartbreaking. It's
I
an
Am
end of the
Legend.
world scenario. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That I don't mind admitting. That got me. Yeah, that got me. But why did he had a genuine reason for doing it in the movie though, wasn't it? It wasn't just
Oh,
sadistic.
the dog had got the
That's
vampire virus thing. He got
Ah.
bit by one of the weird zombie vampire things. I didn't even know what they were. Mutants.
Heartbreaking. You fuck with a man's
Yeah.
dog in a movie and it's just...
I would have gone out like, you know, I'd have got as many. That would have, if that was me in the film, then that would have been like the montage of going into the weapons locker, and strapping like grenades to myself and everything, and
The
like
camo.
as many guns as I can, like the Matrix bit where he goes, "Well, we need guns, lots of
Lots
them,
of
and the
guns.
things flying." And that would then I'd have covered in holsters and guns. I go, "Come on, you
Yes.
vampire motherfuckers!
Don't kill the dog.
Don't kill the dog.
Never kill the dog.
Never kill the dog." Anyway, this kind of thing recently, it's been triggered by the eclipse. I didn't see any of it.
Okay.
Mainly because I kept my eyes closed, unlike certain presidents.
And it was in the US.
It was in the US, so there couldn't be. Was he just in the
another
US?
reason.
Was he just in the US, or could we see a bit of it? Or
You can see the sun from all over the planet, I'm
yeah,
sure
that's
of
what
that.
I thought, yeah.
I mean, I know I don't have a B in physics, man.
I'll tell you when you can't see it at night.
Well, wasn't it oh, I'm not going to say anything. A lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. Is there a difference?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go on then, Mike, because I know I know the lunar eclipse is when the moon goes in front of the sun, so I'm assuming the solar eclipse is the other way around.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Science.
Science. Science.
Magic.
Where I come from, magic and science are one and the same. That's from Thor. I did a reference.
Yeah.
A science reference.
Actually, saying that third one does look pretty good.
It looks fucking amazing.
So anyway, this is now a chap called David Mead.
Mm-hmm.
He's resurrected this a little bit now because after 2012, everyone must have got a bit disappointed that the world didn't end. I certainly did.
Okay.
And God, imagine if the world did end in 2012. We'd have none of this shit.
Mhm.
None of this shithole the fucking world's turned into in the last 5 years. 2012 seems like a virtual fucking paradise nowadays.
I'm going to be honest though, I've enjoyed some of the things I personally have done
Oh, yeah,
since 2012, so I'm quite glad I'm alive.
Oh, I don't feel my personal experience. It's just, you know, the way of the world has just gone a bit downhill
The
since.
problem is though with cataclysms and things like that is it's not going to specifically wipe out people we think are a bit shit, is it?
No.
It's going to wipe out without discrimination and just mercilessly pound us into non-existence. But it would be awesome if it was somehow specifically, you know, like if your dickheadness was, there was a direct ratio between how much of a dickhead you are and how much more likely you are to drown in a giant flood.
Yeah.
There was some kind of science in there.
Can we call it
Then
the
I
Noah
would
theory?
welcome it, Ben. I'd be out there on my knees fucking praying for Niburu along with everybody else, you know. I don't want to sound a fascist, and I was
Be like
clearly...
Independence Day when them protesters are
on the
celebrating the aliens.
Yeah, I'd be up there on ecstasy having the time of my life. But imagine though, so think about it though, alright, I'm just thinking out loud now, those guys on the roof in Independence Day partying like hell.
Yeah, right.
They must have been using drugs to be happy in the face of what was occurring. So think about the next day when the come down kicks in.
They didn't.
And they didn't survive the
No, but think about, did they get blown up in the
They
middle?
were the first to go, yeah.
But there must have been, it comes down, but there must have been some people partying, doing the same thing.
Somewhere.
Right, who survived and woke the next day in the ruins of the city, of the world, having a come down.
That's the worst come
And
down ever.
dealing with the post-apocalyptic nightmare that you wake up going, the fuck was in those pills? I knew I shouldn't have double dropped. Oh, that would be a horrific day. Like, I really need water. Good luck, buddy.
How long do you think it'd take you to realise that you're not still on the drugs?
Oh, I think it would be quite apparent really quick, because would the remaining people, would they be calm and in a daze, or would they be rampaging about just wildly trying to scavenge whatever survived? There'd probably be a few days of shock, wouldn't there?
Yeah,
Of just lying around.
I think 2 or 3 days and then the shit would hit the fan.
Yeah, you'd end up with people forming into gangs, trying to get stuff and...
From one of the survival videos I watched earlier, if when it's announced and made official that it's coming, and you better prepare, obviously panic is going to set in, and the guy in the video said if you're one of those people who ends up having to panic buy and all that, well, you've already fucked up and you're already not going to survive.
What am I going to do? My 47 loaves of bread?
Well, we'll talk about that later, because apparently stockpiling stuff isn't necessarily it's knowledge, Ben. Knowledge.
Yeah, knowledge, i.e. not stockpiling bread.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a shelf life.
I could freeze it.
How you powering the freezer?
With a bicycle generator.
I've been, actually, my friend, before I came here, I was telling my friend what we were going to be talking about, and I was saying exactly what I was just saying. We need to accumulate knowledge, and I was like, how do we make power? And he was like, oh well, you need the alternator from a car, hoping that it survives. Attach the fans.
Okay, I'm lost already. Point out.
The alternator.
What's an alternator?
It charges the battery through like something turning inside. Very technical.
I'm so dead.
So we need a fan then, a sort of windmill thing, and it will, and then we need 2 cables. One to earth, one to... it's all very...
Can't you power stuff with potatoes? I've seen that.
It was on Red Dwarf, yeah.
Yeah.
That does actually work, apparently. 8 lemons or 8 potatoes, a bit of copper, and you'll get I'm not sure how much. I don't think it's enough to power...
A fridge.
Let's say a fridge or a high-powered dildo, or I don't think...
Is powering a high-powered dildo high on the list of post-apocalyptic...
Yes, well, clearly
it's very lonely in the apocalypse.
I'm lonely now. Imagine what it's going to be like when fucking everyone's dead. Jesus Christ, there's only so many ways I can masturbate, Ben.
Oh man, as long as the internet's still on.
It won't be. That's what I'm saying. You won't judge me for my dildo choice.
That bite like a motherfucker.
You'll be so fucking jealous. He gets the fucking machine. I'm fucking the same silly fucking hand. I'm sick of my hand. And there's Gaz over there with his machine. And they cuddle. He's drawn a face on it. A little beard. It'll be my little companion, my filthy little apocalypse companion. Wow, that got detailed. So
until eventually some roving gangs of bandits turn up.
I will fight them. Fuck no, they won't take him. Or they kidnap him and I have to go and rescue him and fight them back.
Oh, they beat you to death with it.
Oh man. No, I don't want that.
As a final irony.
Beaten to death with my own love, the love of my life. Well, I was thinking, this is kind of related. We're jumping all over the place as usual.
Yeah,
but, the Nephilim, the sort of ones they created when they started buffing us.
The
Annunaki. When they started shagging the Neanderthals and stuff.
Who they created.
Yes, and then somewhere along the line there was these giant sort of people, the Nephilim, and I was thinking about if I could fuck like a 14-foot woman. And of course I would try. I would definitely try. And it suddenly dawned on me that her being 14 foot tall, my penis might not be much of a presence. Comparatively speaking, she's 14 foot tall for fuck's sake. So I would just use my entire body like one giant phallus, and I'd dive in like an Olympic diver. On
a bungee.
Yeah, I could satisfy a Nephilim. Yeah.
Strap it round the clitoris.
These are I actually wrote that bit. I made that note. These are the things I think about when you're doing your science.
Trouble is, if the wind turns, you're up the anus.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
If the wind turns from the giant wind turbine that I've set up. This is the best accident ever.
Where are you going to get that much? Surely you're going to have to lube your entire body though. Where are you going to get that much lube?
She's 14 foot. You put
this was before the apocalypse. This was in the good times when they were seeding our planet, and I also heard today that the ones they left behind, the Annunaki they left behind to watch over the slaves who ended up interbreeding with us, these guys they were left behind to keep us under control. These are the beginning roots of the bloodlines of the Illuminati and the 1%.
That does make sense because they are
the goat-legged queen.
Because
have you been on my porn history?
They are tall, fair-skinned, blonde and blue-eyed. So I mean,
oh man,
there's a lot. Why is it that everything bad is associated with being tall, fair-skinned, blonde and blue-eyed? You've not got a good rap in this. I'm feeling pretty bad about myself.
Well, I think the bad rap comes from in the last sort of 50 years. Or how long ago was World War II?
I'm not having my
70.
ancestors guilty.
70 years, oh sorry.
70 plus probably now.
Now aren't you all glad I read that fucking statement? Yeah, I think it's only since the war that they've been looked upon sort of unfavourably. And not all of them are. Everyone loves Swedish people.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I love Swedish people are great.
We all love pygmies.
You hear many tall, blonde pygmies, do you?
I'd marry it if I found one. I don't think I've ever met a Swedish person, but everyone else says they're nice. So.
I've met a Swedish person.
There you go. Were they nice?
Yeah, she was. She was very nice. She's married to a good friend of ours. Well,
There you go.
Who lives in Sweden, and there you go. Conveniently bringing it full circle.
He said he lived in Nigeria.
Ben, that was a wonderful anecdote.
I thought so, but she was very nice. Yes, and very attractive.
There you go. See,
very beautiful women.
probably
in Sweden.
blonde and blue-eyed.
Yeah, but she
Never,
was.
never put nobody in no chamber. Lovely, see? They're nice. They're nice. Not
Either
all
way, I
blonde-haired, blue-eyed people are evil.
I can't help but feel
Well,
that they're getting a bit of a bad rap.
I've got to say the Vikings weren't the nicest of people, but
They had their culture.
Hagar the Horrible.
He was
Yeah.
a great.
Oh, the clue's in the name, isn't it?
Yeah, there is that.
Shit.
Yeah. Anyway, the Annunaki turned up 450,000 years ago. They were looking for hydrogen, copper and gold. And that's why they created us. Clay with the flesh and blood of themselves to create humans as a workforce.
To mine gold.
To mine gold. They wanted gold, they wanted the labour, so they wanted the energy. But there's a theory they feed off human suffering, so they're basically gorging themselves right now. And they like Earth girls.
Hey,
They want-
Earth girls are easy.
I was gonna say that.
Ah, you beat us all to that one.
damn.
I've literally had nearly 2 cans, 500ml cans of energy drinks, so that's the only reason I was the first one. Normally I'm like 2 steps behind everyone.
I'm on Carly, which apparently now has been leaked as weaker than their advertising, so it is more piss-like than it has a reputation of being. Allegedly, Carling Brews.
Allegedly, don't ban
And
us.
I am drinking my own
And-
piss, so cheers, lads.
Hey, and I'm going to switch to lager in a minute, and there's the ever-present marijuana.
Mary Jane, you mean?
MJ, yeah. Sorry, iTunes, if you do. I mean, maybe that. Did they listen to the whole thing and they think we're encouraging drug use? Just because we do it,
Allegedly.
kids. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We've got loads
For the
of
love of God, don't copy us.
Yeah, don't copy
We've made
us.
bad life choices.
Yeah, but you know, we do an excellent podcast. I think you'll agree.
Tell your friends.
Tell all your friends.
All.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. That's how these things build.
Build
Give
that
us,
they will come.
and give us some fucking money so we can afford a bit of foam to go on the end of the microphone.
If you build it, they will come. I just feel it's unnecessary to see the naked Indians butt crack.
I mean, yeah, we'll get back on iTunes. We'll find out.
We'll figure it out. But so anyway, we've got this. They are possibly the angels mentioned in the Bible, so that ties into the whole Nephilim. Say that word for me, somebody.
Nephilim.
Nephilim. That's it. So, I mean, they turn up in a fair few sort of traditions of ancient cultures. The Sumerians, they were pretty big. The Akkadians, I've heard that name before somewhere. The Assyrians, they're the Syrians nowadays. And the Babylonians, they were no mugs.
No mugs.
They had a library and hanging gardens.
Babylon.
Was it Babylon in the library?
Oh no, that was Alexandria.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Babylon, hanging, they had one
I'm
of
sure
the-
they had a library.
They probably did. There were no mugs, they made some hanging gardens.
Well, and they built the Tower of Babel,
Was that
allegedly.
that? Allegedly. Well, wasn't that everybody?
I think it was the Babylonians because they wanted to reach God.
It's ambitious, I like it.
I
But
like
God
it.
smote them.
God loves a trier. Well, I've got some things on because it does turn up in all of those apparently allegedly in the myths of all those ancient cultures. Now I've got some of the names, other alternative names that Niburu goes by, and I've got to be honest, I was slightly underwhelmed.
Is Niburu like Prince?
Yeah, he had some really crap alternatives. So it's some of the other names, Marduk.
That's crap.
Now, the first thing I thought of, this probably says more about me than Marduk, is that Daffy Duck did go to space. Didn't he? With that little alien guy?
Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, but Daffy Duck was there as well, wasn't he? He
He
went
was.
with
They
it.
did
I think
cross
he was,
over.
yeah.
Maybe Marduk is somehow named after Daffy Duck. I don't know.
Marduk sounds like some ultra-right nationalist Welsh bloke.
The next one is awful. Frightener. which I put sounds like a really shit local wrestler. You know the type. He's got a leotard that's second hand, and he's overweight, and one nutsack is hanging out, and he's awful. He just offends your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Frightener, and he comes out and he's really trying. He thinks he's scary, and the kids are they feel embarrassed for him. Next up, Destroyer, which I put sounds like a slightly better wrestler. And the last one, Herculobus.
That's a great wrestler.
I put Mexican wrestler. So yeah, Niburu. I think they stuck with the best gimmick. Niburu is kind of, because it takes me a lot to remember a name. And I haven't done that much research on this, and I've got it down. I can say Niburu. So I think they won with that one.
When you see it piercing your atmosphere, you'll never forget the name.
But it's better than fucking Uranus. Let's be honest. That was dead.
Anything's better than fucking Uranus.
Well,
I guess it is.
My future dildo friend wouldn't agree with you on that.
What are you calling your dildo?
Well,
Captain Burrito.
Captain Pleasure. Captain Bum Fun. Captain, I can't believe the batteries are flat again.
We're going to discuss that. We're generating power on a bicycle there.
Yeah, and you're riding the fucking bike, mate. You're going to need a blindfold, probably.
And earplugs,
or we'll need
please.
some really long cables. And you're not getting out of it, Mike. No, you two are doing it in shifts. You want to share my dildo? Sorry.
You know, I'm going to try and hold out for as long as I can on that front, to be fair. Maybe I'll find someone who isn't mutated horribly or disfigured in a bad way. And maybe I'll just find a shot mannequin and drill a hole. Who knows?
Or a nice hollow tree stump.
Hollow tree stump. Hole in the barrel, maybe. Who knows?
Well, we're working under the presumption that we're still going to be as ridiculously horny as we are before the apocalypse. Well, what is that really going to be first thing? I mean, it's always the first thing on my mind now. But when everything's fucked and I'm just wandering through the wasteland.
I think mutants eating his skin is probably high up on the list.
Yeah, and the radiation burns to my skin, the loss of my family, of everyone I know. I'll probably be. I mean, if you survive, you're either going to be one of those miracle survivals where you literally not a scratch on you from some mad random sequence of events, or you're going to be carrying some sort of injury, aren't you? And it was pointed out to me today on one of those survival videos, medicine is going to run out very, very quickly. So one of the knowledges we need to have, because we know knowledge is power, is we're going to need to know how to grow things. And I mean, he didn't get specifically what I needed to grow. It was a bit of a shit video in that. But my mind went to, well, painkiller, opiate, puppies,
cannabis,
heroin.
Isn't it?
No, we're going to need to know how to grow puppies, but then process them, whatever the chemical process, whatever you have to do to turn that into heroin, opium for painkiller, and for getting high. We're going to need to know how to
we'll
grow
experiment.
food. Yeah, I'm willing to try and learn that one. If you guys stick to the sciencey bits, because we're going to need to generate. I mean, do you know how to start a power grid?
I think I must have missed that.
There's a few settlements. If there was a few of us survivors, can we link up a power grid?
Like a fire. I mean, man, that was one of the first things that man invented.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't be able to do that in the wild.
Oh man, imagine it, because lighters might survive, but the fuel in them will be so if you don't light that fire on 3 clicks, it will turn into a fist fight. Tensions will just be that oh man.
It's I mean, I've done survivalist shit. I did that whole army reserve thing, but I couldn't light a fire with 2 sticks. We always had fire lighters because it's convenient. I can probably make a shelter.
If there's anything out there,
I could shoot stuff if the opportunity ever arises. I was good at that.
Yeah, but, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I don't know how to skin a goat or a deer. I don't know how to prepare a deer for eating.
I think I'll just.
I would be useless.
I could probably prepare a rabbit. I know how to do that.
I'll gently weep. I think just gently weep.
But after all that, you think, oh, you know what? Things are a bit shit. Might as well crack one off.
No, it always comes back to this. I think last time we talked about apocalypse, it was about you hiding under a tin bath. Oh, that's a future episode actually, because this is the emergency broadcast. Ignore what I just said.
Oh my god, we just created our own time paradox. And you're wearing a Terminator t-shirt.
Oh god, that went really loud. We're not used to our new
Fancy equipment.
fancy
fancy
schmancy.
Yeah, would you like to know what NASA says about this? Now, bear in mind that I am allegedly a dirty NASA shill.
I've got some NASA stuff, so let's get into NASA then. I said it funny then, like I was from...
Like you were from NASA.
NASA. Here.
So basically, NASA says, and I'll paraphrase it a little bit, to bring in a popular comedy of a few years ago. Computer says no.
They said that.
No, but that's me paraphrasing. They said no, because we'd be able to see it. If it was that close and it's coming in 33 days, we haven't actually gone to David Mead yet, who was saying this is the return. 33 days after the eclipse.
But they haven't always been saying this, which is what I'll get to.
But he's also a Christian numerologist, and whenever you put Christian in front of everything, I immediately think dipshit.
And I think that Mead is drunk on his own hubris.
Oh, that's a...
Is that a crown?
That's a crown.
Oh shit! That was a really clever joke.
That was like Stephen Fry level of...
If you listen at home, I hope you appreciate that me and Ben have basically give you... How long have we been going?
30 minutes.
We give you half an hour of cock jokes and wank jokes, and Mike has just done like a piece of witty satire. Like you said, that was QI Stephen Fry level. Wow.
Who says
We're going to do something for our more sophisticated listeners now and again. Throw them a bone.
We're trying to cater to
They don't
all
knob
audience.
gags.
Does this mean we're going to start doing episodes wearing smoking jackets?
I wouldn't mind a smoking jacket. I mean, it's summer at the moment, but when winter comes, we'll wear a smoking jacket and a deer stalker.
Yeah. Well, it's summer though, I might branch out into togas.
I've never worn a toga.
It's a liberating experience.
I'm sure it is.
See why the Romans are so successful.
I'm going to switch to beer. Sorry if you hear this opening, everybody, but it's... Oh, sorry.
Emergency. Right. David Mead, he is a Christian numerologist. He claims a solar eclipse on the September 23rd, claims a solar eclipse on August 21st, 2017. The 33 days after the eclipse of the 21st of August 2017, which I did like seeing Donald Trump look at. And then everyone's like, shield your eyes, don't look at it. He's like,
I would have laughed my ass off if it had burnt his eyes out. Just see his eyes just pop into flame, like on the floor going, ah! And I just stand over him and laugh.
Of course, that will be...
The sun is huge.
Obviously, eclipses are fake news because my eyes didn't burn out. Eclipses?
Oh, the eclipse is fake news.
The
I thought you
eclipse
said
is
that.
fake news.
Oh, I thought you said it eclipses fake news. The eclipse is fake
The eclipse
news.
is fake news because he didn't burn his eyes out. Basically, because he's a Christian numerologist, he's basically looked in the Bible a little bit and found some appropriate verses that have the number 33 or some reference to an eclipse and then an impending disaster, and gone, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So would you like to hear the two verses I found? The book of Isaiah is in the Old Testament. I don't know who Isaiah was, probably a prophet. Probably some fucking illiterate sheep herder. I don't know. He says...
Could have been a nice guy.
He could have been. But then again, maybe not.
Here we go.
Could have been a child murderer. Go on.
See, the day of the Lord is coming. A cruel day with wrath and fierce anger, to make the land desolate and destroy the sinners within it. And the rising sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. Yeah, what's exactly? Could be fucking anything, who knows?
Look, no, I'm not going to say. I was going to say something really stupid there. That we don't get light from the moon. It comes from the sun, Christian knobhead. But we do get some light from the moon.
We do because it reflects off the moon.
Yeah, I
Like college boy.
I knew that as soon as I started to say it. But okay, now
there might be some listeners that didn't understand.
No, there's a lot of this mythology and
Bollocks.
Zacharias Ditchin, who, we've got to trust his interpretation of what he found in those clay tablets. And, I'm fairly interested in all that, but what got me very freaked out this morning, researching and having a little joint, and I've been a bit ill this weekend, a bit of sort of fever, so I've been in bed not feeling great, and And this started a long time before NASA. In like 1846, some guy called John Gall, they were looking at rotations and things, and they worked out mathematically that there should be another planet in this place, and they found Pluto.
Makes sense.
Or Neptune, sorry. Neptune was the first planet to be discovered by mathematical prediction, not by first spotting it and then going, ooh, what's that?
Science!
Yes, science. Now, through basically, in 1972, NASA launched a satellite called the Pioneer 10, which we've lost contact with now.
It's probably a fair way out.
And any information that they do have that it gave is still classified.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Is that just drifting out into space, or did they crash it into the planet? And did it? And
I don't know that. I think it just went too far to communicate with anymore.
Because Voyager's pretty far gone now.
We've
isn't
lost
it?
Voyager.
We haven't lost it.
Oh, which one was this then? Hang on.
It's Voyager 1, Voyager 2, isn't there?
Voyager's in the heliosphere.
Is it? To the ghost stars.
It's the
Is it
IRAS
called the heliosphere?
satellite that we've lost. But anyway, basically, they were quite. I watched a whole NASA video. I'm not sure of the date on it. It looked late 80s, early 90s to me. Where the guy was very excited about, in sort of the same way that they predicted Neptune, that they were sort of predicting a planet X that that's cycle is so big that we're only going to see it every sort of. I should have wrote these numbers down. I apologise to the listeners, but one that we won't see very often at all. Once in a lifetime. The last time was Noah's Ark times. That's why he needed a boat. But I watched the official video where the guy was like, if Planet X is out there, we'll find it together. Or we'll find an alternative explanation for the data we've received. That is a fucking direct quote from a guy, an astrologer stood behind a NASA sign.
He's got a nerve.
Right? Now listen, it was an official video.
That's a pun on his name if anyone didn't get that.
That's right.
But I thought his name now.
Gall.
Gall.
He's got the gall, he's got a nerve.
I
had to put it at the back. It wasn't
Mike.
good but
So basically, yeah, and then I watched a supercut. Basically, this was, I was getting freaked out. I watched a supercut of people. There is something out there.
Right.
That they're talking about, like, not conspiracy theorists, real fucking astronomers. And what brought their attention to it was there's something. Right, what's the last planet? Sorry, I'm going to be an idiot. Is it Pluto or Neptune?
Neptune. Pluto's technically
not a planet anymore. So just beyond that is where Planet X or Planet 9 resides. And they can't actually see with a telescope. It's too far. They could if they knew exactly where it was.
Right.
They could pinpoint, and we have something powerful enough to see, but they don't. So they're sort of tracking data and movement from what I could work out. And there is something, the other side, that has got other things orbiting it. It's so big it is affecting the orbit.
I have heard
and it is
that
called,
theory.
this is the official name of it, back in the 1800s. I love this. It's perturbing Neptune's orbit, so it's called Neptune's perturber. And it is literally having an effect on Neptune's fucking orbit. So by the time it swings round to fucking Earth, okay, it's gonna fuck with it.
I thought it was Uranus that had the...
No,
we
there's
were
something.
just trying to figure out what was the ninth planet, and we assumed it was Neptune.
There is something
Because we're
beyond that
professionals.
that is affecting the orbit of smaller things. So it's got asteroid. It could be. I was thinking this is what terrified me this morning. I was thinking it's got. Maybe it's not Planet X, because NASA have gone all quiet on it now. They don't like. They like to talk it down now, and this is the conspiracy theory. But I was thinking today, what if it's just an asteroid that is so huge it's got things rotating round it and it's just thundering round like
Asteroid, if it was a asteroid, it wouldn't be as big as Pluto.
Well, if it's the size of fucking Pluto,
It might be a dwarf planet then.
it's still fucking
You
out
see, an
there.
asteroid is irregular, and the bigger something gets, the more spherical it becomes because it can hold more gravity, so it can
Well,
turn itself into a ball.
there is something.
But there is a theory that we actually live in a binary star system.
2-star system.
Yeah, and this other star is like so far out, it only comes round so many.
But stars
Phases
don't
of
move,
years.
do they?
No, they rotate round each other.
Well, basically, we're not
Round
going
a
to know
common
because this orbit of whatever's out
Gravity
there
well, or whatever you would call it.
is so huge it's only gonna. I should have wrote the numbers down, but for some reason I've got 30,000 years or maybe 300,000 years, something like that. I heard along the videos I was watching. So basically, and that belt, I wrote the Van Damme belt, as in Jean-Claude Van Damme. I know that's not true. Well, what is it called?
Van Allen.
Van Allen belt. When this object, whatever it is out there, and it's huge, comes around, it might temporarily knock out the Van Damme belt, because it's fucking with Neptune's orbit already. It's going to come around, knock out the belt for a brief window, but that window will be long enough for either the sun to scorch the entire earth to fucking back to nothing, or to freeze, ice ages, flood. It's going to create earthquakes, cataclysms, fuck without gravity. It's going to be absolutely fucking devastating. Which is where the conspiracy theory comes in. Why was that guy, back in the day, like, hey, we'll discover it together? And now they're going all kind of a little bit quiet on it, is because, in my opinion, if you think about it, because there's all the conspiracy theorists, even Trump are coming out, aren't they? He's into this, saying that, look, it's being repressed, this information is being repressed. Because I think, if you knew, it's happening. Because apparently it could be happening on September the 23rd, and as we record this, the date is
August 27th.
So if we knew it was coming, things would get pretty fucking hairy.
I wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today. I was thinking, what would you do? Carry on with, even if you knew it was coming in like 50 years? How would you consciously, psychologically cope with that? Could you carry on with your day to day and think, I'll be dead in 50 years? Or
we probably will be. So
it
yeah.
varies people to people, doesn't it?
But like, if you knew
some
it was,
will, some
if you knew it
freak
was
out.
a year, if you knew it was 2 years, basically they can't afford, can they, to ever let that knowledge come to mass? So they wouldn't tell us, would they?
Yeah, and the birth rate would drop right off, because no one's going to have kids if the world's going to end in 50 years.
Yeah, and
but then everyone would still be having it off a lot because the world's ended. So
yeah, we just.
You
I
can't
think my
balance it out.
depression would kick in, to be honest. Even if I had a girlfriend. I haven't mentioned, have I? Yeah, we've been recording over half an hour. My girlfriend left.
So the sex magic going?
We're still talking. On the anyway.
Can I go for a piss?
Piss break.
Piss break. We are back.
We're back. So yeah, NASA. There was a guy, Robert Harrington, who was a NASA astrologer, who was one of the guys talking about there being data and evidence to suggest the existence of an unknown, undiscovered planet, or dwarf planet, or just something huge out there.
Big ass rock.
Yeah, and he developed a very rapid cancer and died, which is within the realms of normal possibility, but it's a bit dodgy, isn't it? It's a bit fishy.
Not the first time it's happened.
Yeah, lots of scientists. Apparently there is, you can literally Google scientists who died in mysterious circumstances, and there's a huge list. Like,
they think they're killing off all the alternative therapy doctors and all that.
Yeah,
what, you mean like the homeopathic?
Yeah,
guys? I got no issue with that.
Well, yeah.
I haven't really got. They're not really doctors, are they? They're just idiots. They're just they're con artists, they're snake oil merchants.
Kill the ones trying to sell it, the charlatan level. But then if there's people doing genuine breakthrough research into it, don't kill them. Let them do the research and work out if there is any use to any of it. But obviously somebody was getting close. This NASA guy was getting close, and something that I thought was weird was that on the a lot of the survival, well, basically all the survival videos that I watched today, one of the first things the video said was, please subscribe to my channel.
Yeah.
Well, what's the fucking point of it?
Because that's what's going to keep him going during the apocalypse. He's going to be sat there with his broken computer, his broken webcam, and he's going to convince himself he's putting that show out every week.
Oh, fuck. I've just realised we need to speak to Major Tundi. He has the best vantage point of anybody.
Yeah.
It's a font of all knowledge.
He's going to see Planet X way before anyone. And to be honest, I hope this doesn't sound offensive, but all this Niburu and that sounds like quite an African sounding sort of name.
Do you think he'd be a great ambassador?
I think he might have a better chance of communicating with them. And we didn't touch on the fact, because this is where I got freaked out, you see, is that all that mythology stuff to me just sounds slightly just ridiculous, and the NASA stuff is terrifying. But the idea that they were here for the gold now, and they needed it to seed a gap in their atmosphere
With gold.
Yeah,
yes.
apparently they had a nuclear war and climate
Yeah.
change, and their planets. Niburu was a bit shit, apparently.
A bit shit. I mean,
They live for
gold's
thousands.
are solid, so what? What's
Yeah, but
the
they
No,
matter?
use
turn
it, they
it to
use it as part
powder.
of their technology.
They turn it to powder,
Ah.
Mike, and they lace the area of their atmosphere that has the hole in it, and
With
and
microscopic
they
gold
get a few,
dust.
they get a few thousand years. I mean, I don't know if
Every
those,
time it swings around to Earth, it
numbers
may not
exact.
score, do
Yeah.
it? It's,
and this is the other
Well, they've
thing.
nicked all our gold now. What
no,
are you
but
going
hang
to do?
on.
gold left.
But hang on,
We have to use peanut
I'm
dust.
confused. Wait, I'm confused. So if Planet X destroys us and fucks us up, how the fuck then did the Nibiru get here to mine the fucking gold?
Yeah, because all it's doing, if you think about it, it's swinging that close to us. So it's wiping the slate clean, isn't it? We're gone. Like, climate change, whoever's left is going to be fucking forced down a gold mine, right? Then they'll just make some more of us, won't they? And then it'll all go around full circle again. So human civilization is in fact just one long fucking reset button.
But if you're down the same gold mine as me, you know you're going to hear bzzz. Gaz, we're supposed to be mining gold. The Niburu 9-foot supervisor is going to be here in a minute. And how do I explain that we are way under our quota because you won't leave that fucking mechanical dildo alone? And I'm sick of riding this bike. Gaz!
5 more minutes.
Alright
There's a
then.
9-foot tall fucking Aryan alien coming down here to fucking kick our asses.
You mean mate, not me mum. Well, you know, I'll have to entertain myself somehow. But that's quite bleak, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have to go down the mine. Well, I thought I'd found a hole in their mythology then, because I was like, well, if it comes that close, it causes earthquakes and makes it uninhabitable for a while. You know, what fun is that? You know, it's like going on holiday and it pissing it down. It's like going on a holiday to somewhere, you know, Thailand, and there being a tsunami or something, isn't it?
You mean like what happened?
Yes. I apologise to anybody who was affected by the thing I couldn't remember that happened in. I'm sure that was horrible for you. But anyway, my point is, I haven't got a point.
Is it like what you're trying to say is it's not? It's gonna be shit.
I'm trying to say it's fucking bollocks.
Yeah.
NASA, there's something out there. No, I'm terrified that there is something that NASA is freaked out about. So freaked out about it that they stopped talking about it. Right? I'm worried about that. I think this Zachariah Stitchin's mad. Well, not mad. I shouldn't say that. We've got to trust his interpretation of what is essentially scratchings, etchings, scribblings into clay tablets that he found. And from this, and I know, yes, I don't know, I didn't read much about it, but people can educate me that there's evidence of this myth in the Bible and in even older things before that. But isn't there evidence of the same thing as Jesus in way older religions, and they just ripped it
One
off?
of the first thing man realised is to imagine the end, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a natural thing.
No, it's a natural part of humanity to add a narrative to everything because it enables us to understand
Exactly.
things. We attach meaning and we create stories. The idea of, you know, the oldest religions we know about, they think, don't they, that it was based on the sun coming up every day
Yeah.
and going down, because they didn't understand why that was happening. They attached a story to it, it gave
The
it
sun
meaning,
gave
they could
life.
understand
They
it.
took 80,000 hearts a day from
Right,
prisoners they
yes.
captured. On top of a It
Yeah.
sounds like a wild night in all
Yeah, well,
fairness.
and now I am a sort of, you know, I'm kind of I do believe in a bit of the evidence for ancient disasters and catastrophes, and I believe, like we were talking earlier, that yes, every however many thousands of years something happens and wipes us out. So maybe somebody's had to attach story and meaning to that, the survivors, this Niburu, all this. Maybe it's just something giant. There's no aliens on it at all. It's just a giant thing that every few, however many tens of thousands of years, swings by us, and the resulting effect on our orbit wipes us out.
How big is this thing meant to be?
Oh, it's like 10 times the
Lots
size of Earth. It's like huge.
I'm trying to tell we
different-
can't see it.
If
gonna
I
hit us in a
heard
month.
today, I heard today that if we knew exactly where it was, we could pinpoint a telescope to it and see it. But basically, they've got no idea exactly where it is. But I get what you're saying, but then is it
If it's
bollocks
black,
then?
if it's black, that might be a problem.
If black is a bit of a natural camouflage in space.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
I watched
Won't-
one
it won't
video that said we'll be able.
Shine light off it, will it?
Sorry, I saw one video that did say we would, but this was one of them Fox News type. You know,
Oh man.
it was saying that conspiracy theorists say that a meteorite the size of the Rose Bowl, I guess that's a stadium somewhere. That's literally what he
Yeah.
said, and we'll be able to see it. I think, well, if we're able to see it, we'll also be able to see the fucking massive waves protruding up and the ground splitting in the distance and the fucking cats all going. Fuck.
And I hate how they use the term conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
That was coined by the CIA.
Mm.
Misinformation.
It's ironic that Fox News are using the term conspiracy theorist, but they peddle more shit than any conspiracy
Oh,
theorist going.
Christ, isn't it?
It's just like a catch-all. It's
Allegedly.
It's allegedly a. Well, no, this isn't fucking allegedly.
I tried watching that Fox News and a bit of my soul died.
I'm gonna have some courage of my convictions, and I'm gonna state that I've literally forgotten what I was. I just fell down a weed hole there. What were we on about?
Planet X, Niburu.
Oh no, yeah, no. I'm gonna stick by it. I genuinely think this is true. Conspiracy theory is a massive umbrella catch-all term that is way too big. Because I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I may have said this previously. But the problem with it is that under the term conspiracy theorist, you can have someone who firmly believes that the CIA, and they traced it. Like I read an entire book by a guy called Gary Webb who traced the money, the fact that the CIA sold drugs to the Contras to fund, and they also sold drugs to gangs in LA during the 80s, creating the crack epidemic in Los Angeles. It's all provable with paperwork and interview, and he's double tapped, shot himself apparently twice.
The drug was invented,
now
mate.
see, that's a real life conspiracy, but that I'm lumped in under that umbrella term with the man who thinks that the chemtrails seed us with microscopic spiders which will eventually grow and then come out of his pores and his skin and eat him. Yeah. Now,
where's the motivation for that on the people doing this? Is it the spider people, or
well,
have the spider people infiltrated British Airways?
the Illuminati have realised that spiders are man's biggest fear. But you see what I mean? We're all lumped in the same. Because my favourite conspiracies really are the less otherworldly and are the more like, the CIA are a dodgy, dirty, allegedly, iTunes is beautiful.
And they're not corporate bastards controlled by the CIA at all.
Nope, love them, love you, love Steve Jobs. So that's the problem, this is a perfect subject to see the problem. You've got the myth, the story, the legend, the man, the myth, and then you've got actual NASA videos and astrology charts and satellites and things, and somewhere they're all lumped in, and I mentioned while the mic was off that there's videos apparently during the eclipse of you could see Planet X right there, big red ball.
Oh, I saw it. It was like a small shadow.
Then lots of photographers and people just chimed in underneath. Yeah, that's lens flare. That's what happens when you point it straight at the sun.
Also, if you could see it in the camera, you'd be able to see it right now.
Well, maybe.
Or someone with a telescope
maybe something
somewhere.
to do with UV. Maybe it's something to do with.
But if it's
atmosphere.
that close, it's cropping up. Then I'm pretty sure.
I suppose we can see the moon.
Someone with
can't
a
we?
telescope somewhere has gone. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, because we can see other planets. We can see Jupiter and stuff.
Yeah.
But as I understand it, I'm going to sound really dumb now. Well, maybe not. But sun's in the middle,
That's correct.
and then the planets are each further and further out on a bigger circle around the sun. So this is right out there.
Yeah.
It's always kind of the same distance. So it's to do with where the other planets are aligned as to us being able to see it. If you see what I mean. Because we're not all moving around.
We have a geocentrical, so everything just goes round in a big circle.
Oh, is it?
But in Niburu
I
is meant to be
didn't
on
know
like an elliptical one.
Like
so
Uranus.
it's swinging in through the solar system every so many years.
That's
it's
why
cutting
it's
across.
very rare that this thing happens.
Because there is a
line.
point in our solar system when Neptune is closer than Uranus. Sorry.
Well, last time you were trying to put caveats in my anus, and
Now I'm trying to put Neptune.
now it's a planet. Mike, I think you've stepped up too quick. Typical bloke, do you know what I mean? Give an inch, 'cause you want to ramp it up straight away.
No.
No. So that's the scary bit to me, that NASA, why would they even talk back in the day or even entertain this idea if
Well, we live in the post-truth apocalypse, that they have to come out and denounce this drivel. I mean, it's the fact that recently they came out and had to declare that there wasn't a child slave colony on Mars.
Are you sure of that though?
And that's thanks to Alex Jones spreading that, or the guest on his show.
Well, but my point is, maybe it's not. They're having to denounce all this stuff that's saying in September, in a few weeks, we're all dead. I think NASA do think there's something out there, but I don't think maybe they're thinking it's coming in freaking, a few weeks. I think they're keeping quiet on it because I think now they would like to really find out. I watched too many videos today of them. There's something out there, man.
So what you're saying is a first for the show so far, where one of us has actually gone, you know what? I think there's something to that.
I do. Not to the. I think there's Niburu and Nephilim and all that. I think that's all absolute fucking tosh, and we're relying on basically a couple of people's interpretations and translations. Do I think there's possibly a planet on an elliptical, did you call it, orbit that we only see? That, I think there's something to that. I really do.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
And I just hope we never find. I just hope it's not in our lifetime. I'm sorry for the suckers whose lifetime it is in, especially if you don't know how to power your dildo from an alternator from a car. Sucks for you.
Can't help but feel we've become slightly fixated on this dildo.
Well, I'm lonely. But yeah, but the Niburu and all, I just can't see it. But then maybe there is some truth to that, the seeding of but maybe it didn't come from Planet X. Maybe they were just interdimensional or something. Maybe the two are not related. Maybe they are, but we'll find out, won't we? Basically, if it's true, we're gonna find out.
We'll find out on the 23rd of September. Yeah. That's when we'll find out.
Maybe we should do an emergency broadcast. Maybe we should do a Facebook live broadcast.
We will be broadcasting during the apocalypse.
Well, what a way to go down, man.
Holy shit, what's that in the sky? It was all true!
Are you picking it up on the microphone?
Like Fallout with one of the radio stations.
Oh man.
Does that mean we have to play 50s swinging jazz?
I quite like the soundtrack on that.
I fucking hate jazz.
Do you know the only time I like jazz is when, because I used to love in the A-Team, because I have seen almost every episode, when Hannibal thinks of a mad plan. And he's getting a bit, he's getting a bit, thinking out the box. Mr. T would say, he on the jazz, man.
Do you think that was mean that Hannibal was possibly a cocaine addict?
I never thought of it that way. I just think it meant he's a bit, all over the place, but yeah, okay. I mean, he's on something.
Maybe he had a little thing around his
It was
neck
the 80s.
And he was like, right, I've got this fucking plan. Mr. T, get my wash kit. Tape some toothpaste aside the van. When you go with the bad guys, slap it or squirt it out in their eyes. We can fire wildly at them while they run around in a circle.
Dude, you would have to be on drugs to come to the Southern Plan. There's an episode where they hide in a barn and they construct a high-powered fan machine that blows out cabbages. They're just taking guys out with cabbages to the face. I was like, what the fuck did he smoke that morning? He on the jazz, man.
I think Mr. T actually is really concerned about how he was spiralling drug addiction, and that's why he's quite tetchy all the time. He's a bit of a tetchy figure, isn't he?
He's like, I've got a drug addict on my left, a womanizer on my right, and the fucking insane asylum escapee is flying the plane. And sometimes he drives the van.
And you're wondering why I don't want to get on the plane.
Why I'm stressed.
Right? Why I think Mr. T is the most normal in that group of people. Yeah. He's the sanest guy there. And he's he's effectively their carer, and they're a bunch of Vietnam vets on a fucking day trip, and he's helping them, through their PTSD.
That's maybe the root.
Shit!
Subtext.
I think I'm just thinking of the 18.
That's why no one dies.
That's why no one ever dies.
Why no one dies.
Because Mr. T sets it up.
All firing blanks.
Mr. T sets it up, gets his mates. Oh, come on, I'm taking the guys out this weekend. You know, just dress up in that Colombian drug dealer gear and just fire some AKs in the air, and we'll make a machine that fires cabbages at you. No one will die. It'll be fine.
And later on, we'll tie them up with rope.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I'll take them off in the van. You guys untie yourselves. Jobs are good.
It's all part of their therapy.
It's all part of their therapy.
I think you have just because
I think I just hit the nail on the fucking head.
You really have. Even the face man. Think about it.
He's a sex addict.
That amount of womanizing. He's trying to, you know, he's a broken person who can't find comfort, even with the most beautiful women in the world, you know. And he's got that reporter woman, Amy, who shows up now and then.
Yeah.
She's lovely, down to her, gorgeous, but he just can't accept the love. And so even the face man is broken from his Vietnam experiences.
Yeah.
You weren't there, man. You weren't there. So
I've no doubt that he actually lost his great love in Vietnam. Maybe a Vietnamese prostitute who was firebombed.
Probably saw her
in
literally flesh melt in front of his face.
Napalm strike on a village. She was there, wrong place, wrong time.
And he had to steal a white Corvette with a red stripe to make him feel
and
better.
a Firebird on the bonnet. And you know that's why he's a womanizer now, because he knows that no woman will ever match what he lost.
Yeah. Oh. Wow, who knew that there was such a deep,
a depth to the
deep
18?
tragic core to the 18?
Yeah.
But to be fair though, did you ever see like the final few episodes? It went
Someone
all fucking
died.
serious.
Someone died. Someone actually died in the last episode.
Wow.
The colonel who was chasing him down, wasn't
They
it?
went to court and they're like, you see them having flashbacks and stuff when they're like waiting to go to court and that. They're all in their military uniforms and stuff. Like, it ends like quite
bleak.
well, it just turns to a actual drama rather than like sort of comedy action type, you know. The one-liners stopped for that episode. Yeah, but man, long live the A-Team. There's some channel on Freeview
Spike
repeating
TV.
it. There you go.
I know that because they also show TNA wrestling.
Hey, so
Or Global Force Wrestling, whatever the hell it
yeah,
is
whatever
nowadays.
it's called now. But yeah, 18 for the win. And do you guys want to give your opinions on Planet X?
Do you wanna go first?
I'll let you go, Ben.
Alright, well, I think that if you're a woman who says she has an implant in her head, or a man that describes himself as a Christian numerologist who essentially makes a living through reading the Bible and picking out numbers, that's your fucking job. I'm not trusting you to predict the end of the world.
Mm.
And if you're claiming you're an alien implant in your head, but yet you won't let anyone do an MRI scan on you to see if there's an alien implant in your head, I think you're just a massive attention seeker.
Yeah.
Killing your dogs, I think you're probably mentally ill as well.
Mm-hmm.
What concerns me at this David Mead guy more than anything is that he has really sold himself short on getting the book sales in.
What?
Because you think about it, his book hasn't been out that long. He's not going to see paperback sales for 6 months. He's not going to see hardback sales for another 18 months. If the world does end, what's he achieved out of all this? Nothing.
He tried to warn us. He won't go down
And no
as the
one,
legend.
and no
That's
one
why-
will remember his legacy
Yeah.
because we'll all have been smushed by tidal waves.
That's
Some of
where.
us will be working in the gold mines and we'll remember.
I'll be busy.
But what would we have done to prevent it anyway? What can we do to prevent it? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
I don't think that guy's information is credible because, like, Mr. Robert Harrington, God rest his soul, the NASA astrologer, he was fucking suicided with cancer. You know, he
Not
was
the
really
first.
trying to let people know, and he wasn't talking about aliens and gold seeding. He was saying there's a fucking planet on a fucking weird orbit that we only see every now and then, and it might potentially be dangerous for us, so maybe we should look into it and stop building fucking nukes. Give me some of that. Let's build build science, build machines that could fucking help us find out.
A giant ass bunker would be nice.
Then maybe we could do something. Maybe we can nuke it out of fucking orbit or something. I don't know. Maybe we could. Superman.
You know that like if that thing was coming at us, right, and we're like, okay, last ditch plan, we're gonna fire every single nuke the planet has at it in an attempt to just break it into fucking. Well, saying that breaking it into pieces is actually worse because then you turn one massive falling object into a lot of falling
Hopefully
objects.
they all avoid us.
Yeah. Well, if you do it far enough out, you know, Armageddon
it'll spread.
style, the old zero barrier.
It'll spread. Wait, there you go. Armageddon. Shout out to Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Is that the one he's in?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
The one was Deep
Yeah.
Impact, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood was in that. It was fucking awful.
Was he?
Don't wanna miss a thing. Especially that fucking giant asteroid in the sky. No! It's a terrible joke for a terrible movie and a terrible song.
You know what?
It was an awful song. I hate it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And it was non-play for like 2 years.
And it constantly, it makes me want to punch myself. And you know, it's like impossible to punch yourself as hard as you can in the face unless there's something really psychologically wrong with you. Something will stop you right at the last. I'm not saying that there might have been a time and a bet talking to someone where I tried to prove this, and it is really hard to actually smack yourself. But that song, I could put myself out. And Aerosmith had got some. No, I'm not going to get into that.
No, I saw them at Download and left after 45 minutes. They looked like 5 tired old men going through the motions on stage, and as soon as their farewell tour, I expected a little bit more.
And can I?
And
but you're not really a fan.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
but hang on,
I like
though.
a few songs.
Can I contrast that with I was at Download the year previous and Iron Maiden, who were slightly younger but not by much. Bruce Dickinson had just beaten throat cancer or some kind of. You know, his voice, everything was affected, right? If you've seen them play, the way they never stop moving, ever. And they're old boys, and there's like 5 of them, and like, they never stopped. And he flew the fucking 747 plane to the fucking gig, so every other band can just, whatever style of music, whatever, just bow down to Iron Maiden.
Would have been awesome, wouldn't it? They just all cheering Iron Maiden. You see this Boeing do a crash land.
Oh no!
Emergency land, like emergency land.
In a cleared area.
Yeah, in a cleared area.
He'd have to
cheering.
Mike,
few people get sucked into the edge, but we don't mind.
That gives the confetti.
But the blood splatter comes out in the shape of Eddie's face. But no, do you know that he did?
Just slide down on that inflatable thing, guitars in hand, onto the stage.
But he did land a plane. How metal is this? Yeah. He was flying the Baron, the red, the little 2-wing. It's a famous old
plane. The Red Baron plane, the triplane.
He either owns the original or a replica or some. He was out flying it for fun for himself. Going to a bit of spot above her, had to do a bit of an emergency landing at some random airfield. There he is, just the lead singer of Iron Maiden. He just beat cancer. Fucking lands his emergency landing plane, just jumps out. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't get any more. And there's an amazing picture of him on the runway in his pilot's captain's uniform, leaning out of the plane, the 747, which is carrying his band and crew and all the equipment, and it is branded with his band on the side of it, and he is leaning out of the cockpit window, throwing up the devil horns. Try as you, every other band out there in the world, people look at metal like it's a bit naff or something if they're not into it. Fuck off. No one on this earth will be in a band as fucking awesome as that, where the fucking singer is that metal. So yeah, that's my Iron Maiden rant.
Have you ever seen I watched a good documentary. It was the Rock in Rio documentary, and like they're going around South America, culminating in Rio. No one's gone, but the fans are nuts.
Fever.
They are camping out for 3
Even in
weeks.
India?
They're getting beaten up by the police for sleeping rough, and they still go back and take their place in line. And then they are going nuts.
That's dedication.
Right? Yeah. And you're talking the mega stadiums out there. You're talking like 150,000 people, 200,000 people in a park. And
man.
Oh man, it was and they were all such. And they always send the drummer out, Nick McBain. He's like the public. He does the. Is he
like Bears and
but fucking talented. But it's undeniably talented. I watched that dude, and he's in his 60s, isn't he? Just turned 60. I suppose he played for just under 2 hours, maybe 2, maybe a little bit longer. And Iron Maiden songs have got quite a bit of drumming involved, like.
They are.
Man. The fitness on those guys, the core, the energy, amazing dudes. They must have some Nephilim blood in them. Let's wrap this up. We had a tangent.
I just want to say what a damning indictment it is on our society, our culture, and our education that people believe this shit.
Which bit though?
The bit that the prophecy, the 23rd of September, is what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Nibiru is going to collide with our planet. And it's going to destroy us, and it's just.
How do you feel about the NASA, the possibility that there is something on a different orbit that we only see?
It's quite possible, but I don't think
I think he was that close to be able to, we'd know what he's here.
No, but do you not think that even if it's, from what I was hearing today, that it doesn't even, that passing by so close, you know, that we'll be able to see it and like, that's kind of the conspiracy theory. I was just hearing that it knocking out the Van Dam, just that knocking that out, we won't be able to see it, still be fucking miles away, but it's just because we're not used to it being there.
Yeah.
It just, when it does pass and it lines a certain way, just that could be really fucking unhealthy for us, and that could be the thing.
It's quite possible, but what the fuck are we going to do about it?
Well, like I said earlier, if it's true, we're going to find out, but I agree. We're on the same page. I'm agreeing with you. Calm down, science boy. I'm agreeing with you.
I just can't stop this fucking nonsense.
The Nephilim and all that. I said that shit's bullshit, but I'm giving you the fucking science people, the actual astrologers, science people are fucking saying, they're not talking about aliens and gold seeding and Neanderthal raping. They're literally like, hey, there's something out there,
we'll start seeing the effects. First, you'd see Neptune come out of its orbit.
It's happening. Uranus. It's being perturbed, man.
Well, when it is perturbed, then
it's perturbed, bro. Trust me. Neptune is perturbed.
Well, when Jupiter gets perturbed,
then it's time to panic.
Yeah, then it's time to panic.
That's our Captain America shield, isn't it?
Jupiter. Let's hope he just hits Jupiter on the way through. That's what I can say.
Well, I think Niburu bollocks, Planet 10 or Planet 9, whatever the fuck it's called, a distinct possibility.
It's
because
a possibility.
People are a lot smarter than me. No offence, lads, or you two, who dedicate their lives to it, are saying that there's definitely an extra planet on a different orbit that we haven't.
You can't say definitely. There may be another. Maybe.
Definitely, maybe.
The data that they're receiving is suggesting. Excuse me. So, to sum it up, aliens, bollocks, Nephilim. I think we got to that same.
A woman with an implant in her head, bollocks. Christian numerology, bollocks.
Yeah.
Maybe another planet. Who can say? Will it be in 33 days?
We'll fucking find out.
Well, if we're going from the Old Testament, then probably not, in all fairness. Let's face it. Nate, give me one biblical prophecy that's come true.
Oh, hang on. No, it's not. I'm not going to give you that.
History. Oh no, that wasn't.
Yeah,
that was
Nostradamus.
On those lines, though, I listened to a Johnny Cash song. Trust me, it's not a tangent. It's connected. A Johnny Cash song that I hadn't heard because there's a period in the 90s where he was kind of career was a bit. Before his resurgence as the super cool Rick Rubin produced, and he did a song called "By the Book," and I really like it because it's just a good song. But then lyrically, I was listening to it, and it's another one of his religious songs. And he's basically saying that everything's going by the book because it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse.
I understand
like
that.
The book says, it's end times are coming. Shut out, everybody! It's going by the book. So. And the reason I thought that was relevant is because I have had a bit of an end times feel just lately. I haven't been able to do much of the news and things because of what's happening in America. I'm quite angry at both sides. I think everyone's a bit of a tosser in this situation. It's just.
Are you taking Trump stance?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm not. But I really, this Antifa thing. Here's my problem. Okay, we might as well, because everyone's saying the world's going to end in a few. Not everyone. The people who got us to pick this frickin' subject, why we're doing an emergency broadcast. Okay, my problem is with Antifa, which I only learned today is they're anti-fascists. Great name.
Yeah.
Okay, anti-fascist. The whole hashtag punch a Nazi.
I like that hashtag.
Wait though, I get it. And it is funny, the clip of that guy getting punched.
It is funny, yeah.
It's funny. But let's be theological for a moment.
Okay.
If we can.
We'll try.
If we're capable. But shutting down somebody else's voice because you don't agree with their ideology through violence is in itself a fascist act.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So
hypocrisy.
If it's funny, it might be funny, but it's bollocks. Don't. And I think in the interest of fairness, because I'm not happy with some of these they smashed up some people's business. They just, don't shout at me on the internet.
They're as bad as them.
So
but remember that you have you don't just have it might be the genuine core of the Antifa, but then you have these anarchists who tag on along with it because they're just looking for a bit of a fight, and it goes, and that does happen with both. Some people just turn up because they want to cause a bit of shit, and they attach themselves to a side.
But sadly, most of the people are probably there protesting genuinely in a peaceful protest.
But it only takes the few. But to make things in the interest of fairness, because I don't. Okay, hashtag.
Well, for fairness, I mean, let's face it. You're using violence against Nazis.
Oh yeah. Listen.
They were quite violent people.
So that is their fucking religion, isn't it? Is violence. That's how fascists get over there.
I cannot
They use
believe
violence to
I'm
get
in
over
the
their
position of
To get over their sexual
I
impotence.
can't believe I'm in the position of defending a Nazi. Oh God. But yes, but if they were protesting peacefully, as disgusting as you are with their views, if they were being peaceful and non-violent, you don't have a right to be violent to them. And some people are saying that you do because their views are so disgusting. But I'm trying to keep this funny. So instead of hashtag punch a Nazi, okay, that's out there. But I want to redress the balance a little bit because I don't agree with.
Should be hashtag hug a Nazi.
No. We're going to come up with a hashtag for every different group because we can't just go around punching people because we disagree with them like it's an episode of WWE Raw. So hashtag punch a Nazi, hashtag slap a snowflake, hashtag TKO a Tory, hashtag
What's TKO?
hashtag total technical knockout, hashtag leg sweep a Labourite.
Leg drop a Labourite.
Oh, leg drop a Labourite. There you go. I mean, we can't go. I mean,
leg drop a Lib Dem is better.
there you go. Leg drop. Oh, we could lynch a Lib Dem. No, sorry. Sorry. That's all a bit Nazi. That's offended them. I just think you can't be called and your name can't be short for anti-fascist, and then to go around shutting people down with violence.
And
It's
do
gotta
fascists.
be, it's got to be a different way.
In all fairness.
And if you're a dick, and this is my other bit of the rant that I need to say, because both my granddads had to go and fight Nazis. These fucking dickheads in America are not Nazis. They are white supremacists, they're fascists, they're using Nazi imagery and symbolism, maybe some of their ideas, but they are not Nazis rampaged across Europe doing all that horrific things, and possibly your granddad and yours, Mike, had to go over there, give up their fucking lives, not go down a street with a sign and punch somebody with a beard who looked like a hipster anyway, and had to go and fight the most evil, nasty bastard army the modern world has seen, right? Those were fucking Nazis. Those guys in America with torches they bought from B&Q, right?
Yeah,
Mosquito fucking killers. They are misguided, silly little people,
The company
right?
actually had to come out, the ones that sold the tiki torches, and say
No, no.
that we don't endorse Nazis. These are a garden product for families.
That is,
and someone put a
unfortunately,
sign
they
on
have
them.
to. It's corporate. That is the standard corporate textbook thing that
Yeah.
they've got to do in response to this. But
Even
they're
Johnny,
not
actually,
Nazis.
linking it back, Johnny Cash's family released a statement as well about it because one of the Nazi guys was wearing a Johnny Cash t-shirt.
He would have hated that. Johnny Cash was
and they
pissed.
actually had to come out and say, "Our father wouldn't have condoned that."
No way.
But in theory,
It was like when
at the end of the
Trump-
day, that guy has bought a piece of merchandise from an artist he likes.
Yeah.
He loves
He's
the
chose
South.
to wear it on that day because he likes that shirt.
Yeah.
You're wearing a t-shirt. I have a Batman shirt. You have I don't know what that shirt is.
Animal
surfwear.
Fortunately.
We like these t-shirts. He likes Johnny Cash. Why should they have to come out and say, yeah, one of our dad's fans is a bit of a dick?
Because
Why
that
should they have
image,
to say that? I
They
don't
do
get
to
it.
protect, and it's just a symptom of the fucking of the world we live in with the internet, with everyone's voice, the recreational fucking offendedness, the recreational, moralism, like, oh, I'm so offended, I'm going to boycott Johnny Cash because I hate fascists. Like, fuck off. If you know Johnny Cash, you don't need that explanation from the family. 'cause
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know.
Well, you do though, in a way, because Trump. Can I say something? Because Trump, when he was going up for election, he used Neil Young music, and Neil Young came out and said, "I don't endorse anything Trump says."
And the Rolling Stones as well, I believe.
Was it the Stones as
The
well?
Stones as well, I think, yeah. And they said, we had nothing to do with
Yeah,
him.
it was so
In fact,
funny.
if you want to use it, you can pay us, I think they said.
No bands wanted to play his inauguration. He had to end up
Oh,
with
yeah.
3 doors down.
There's
Was it
quite
Three
a
Doors
funny-
Down?
Yeah, they did.
I thought they were all dead.
Oh, who are they? There's a funny story about that apparently
They'll play
I
anything.
can't remember if it was Bush. I'm sure it was Bush, but on one of his re-election campaigns, he was desperate to use Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA." Springsteen refused. Apparently, he used it anyway, and there's a bit of suing involved. But it shows you what a moron he is, because if you've listened to the lyrics of that song,
yeah.
it's a fucking anti-war. It's not necessarily anti-America, but it's quite sarcastic in a way,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like,
it's saying
you know,
America's a bit of a hypocrite in a way.
Born in the USA, man, pride. A bit like Keep On Rocking in the Free World. It's quite.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I thought that song was about like, yeah, rock's ace, isn't it? Keep on rocking. No, it's a very ironic, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, there's kids in the street with no education
I love the
and
lyrics
everything.
to that song.
You know, yeah, and it's, yeah, guys,
Amazing
keep on
song.
rocking in the free world.
It's a
kinda like
sarcastic
that,
message.
Yeah.
But the government would love that sort of shit.
Exactly.
Keep on rocking. Yeah, we're the free world. We're awesome. Keep on rocking in the free world. And they don't get it. All they do is listen to the chorus.
Fucking
Well, that's
shit.
how artists get over there.
Yeah, that's you sneak a little message in, don't you? The whole, I agree with you. I mean, you know, Grandad punched many a Nazi, in back in the day.
Say again, sorry.
Well, Grandad punched many a Nazi.
Oh,
back
there
in
you
the
go,
day.
mine too.
You know,
well, actually, he shot him from a distance on a boat. He was a gunner on a ship, my granddad.
oh, mine had he was in the thick of it for a fair bit.
There you go.
I get the feeling. Listen to him speak about it. I get the feeling he quite enjoyed it because it was so fucking dull living around here.
But hey,
Anyway, they were bad people, but these guys are trying to ape that behaviour. They're using using the symbology. They're throwing out the salutes.
well, that's all it is, though.
And you're like, no, because you give those guys a chance, and that 1930s Germany is what you're going to end up with in America.
But do you think those guys, though, sorry to cut you off, carrying those anti-mosquito torches, are those guys capable of rounding up men, women and children, putting them in a gas chamber, you know? Like,
I watched this video in the week, popped on my Facebook feed, and it was this. I'll give it the guy's bravery. I can't actually remember his name off the top of my head because I didn't take the notes. I watched it and was like, "The fuck did I just watch?" He was a Muslim guy. He looked like a Muslim guy. He was talking to some white people in the deep south, and this girl was there, white girl, no teeth. Looked like she lived in a caravan.
She said it, Ben. Oh, sorry. You say what she said. Yeah.
She said, "I think there should be another genocide to give my white babies a chance." I mean, that. And this is coming. I don't consider I'm a white guy. You've probably figured that out, listeners.
Well, this is coming from a genuine place because in America, the whites are going to be the minority soon.
Well, yeah, but.
I'm not justifying them. I'm just saying it is coming from when they say that we will be the minority. The white male will be the minority in America in a few years.
I dare say you will be, but white males still have all the power virtually. So I don't think they've got anything to worry about.
I agree with you completely. I'm just saying that is.
You know, Trump is the epitome of the white male in power. My
privileged and
my point is, I'm watching this woman on this video, and she's got 3 teeth in her head.
Yeah.
She looks like, the whole family looks like they're far too closely related. And I'm thinking, well, I'm no perfect specimen of a white male, but I consider myself quite a way above you on the genetic ladder, in a way. So I don't think this shit. What, are you just thinking this because you don't have a future?
I can't take her seriously. A lot of that is to do with... Like, did you see the way the husband was looking at her? And he said, "I love you, baby."
Yeah.
Like, a lot of that was to do with impressing. I don't think she has the intelligence to truly understand the meaning. There's a Morrissey lyric. I apologise if you hate Morrissey, but I love him. Such heavy words, so lightly thrown. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she understands the weight of the fucking words she's saying. It's
probably not.
It's a slogan. It's silliness.
These people also deny the Holocaust.
I need a pee. Should we put a pin in it? And then we'll wrap it up.
We can pause it, I don't mind.
I'm happy to wrap it up now.
Alright.
Let's wrap it up.
So basically, we all have differing views, but we all point to the same goal, that Nazis are bad.
Yeah. And Planet X.
Planet X.
Nibiru.
Maybe there's a Planet X.
But Niburu.
We're not going for the numerologists or the one with a chip in their heads theories that there's Annunaki and they're going to turn up and make us slaves.
I'm going to make a promise here, right now.
Okay.
If Niburu is true and it happens, I'll eat my hazmat hat.
Hey! Okay, on that note, I'm Gaz.
I'm Mike.
I'm Ben, and we're signing off. That was an emergency broadcast brought to you by Cutting to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse.
Free Biff Tannen!
Stay classy.
Peace out.